So this is an old well that was here when we moved here. Can you explain what you've done here with it?
This well was it'd be about 50 years old. I'm under the impression the neighbour's grandfather dug this well when my neighbour was about 8 to 10 years old, so that means it's 50 years old. It's a free walled well. It wasn't walled except for the top section, and it was rock with concrete at the top section, but they only went up with the reinforcing, the stabilising at ground level. And the problem is this is a low area, and a lot of overflow for 50 years has come down with the heavy rains and gone into the well because it wasn't built up above ground level, and it's caved in the sides of the well and filled it up with the rubble and caused undermining, so it's very unstable. And I'd love to, someone's gone to a lot of effort here to get this water and dug a hole, by hand, and I don't like to see that energy wasted. And so I'd love to repair this well, and I sort of need an excuse to do it because the previous owner said he could pump 100 gallons a day, which isn't a lot of water. So I need an excuse to spend energy on this well. Now behind here, you might be able to see the dam wall, the pond wall that's at the front of the house, our swimming pond. It needs topping up with a bit of water during the dry season, and it needs about 250 gallons a day, or maybe 1,000 litres a day, for evaporation and water loss. I've seen at this stage it'll get better. I'm sure it's going to get better when it gets more stabilised itself. It's only a new pond, so even to get down to 150 gallons a day is needed just to keep that top up so that it's a functioning pond. I can probably, with a slow pump water from this groundwater here, put a solar pump on here that'll pump 6 or 8 hours a day. Means I should be able to get more water than the 100 gallons that the previous owner was getting. So we've just spent a little bit of time here getting it ready so that we can repair it. And what we're trying to achieve here, we've put some earth bags. Our first attempt at earth bag work, we put earth bags around to stop the surface overflow water from falling into the well and eroding, undermining and damaging the well anymore. And hopefully we've got this high enough so that the water can get across and away and not go into the well. And over the next couple of years, hopefully we can get this functioning, and we'll do a little process on that. I need to actually get this happening because my food forest is starting to overtake the space with the well, and I'll need access in here to work it, and so I've got to beat the food forest, which is great. It means I'm going to get further forward. We need these little nudges at times to make us start on doing processes and fill our days more. The water table is about 2.8 metres down from the ground level. I'm sure on a dry year it's going to get probably maybe into 3.5 metres, so maybe next year, if it's a dry season, we're already starting to get some rain, and I think the water table's already starting to come up a bit. Next year, if we have a very dry spring, we've had a dry one this time, but if it's drier next year, the water table goes down, then I'll dig it out more so that we've got a good water source through the dry time. And I haven't totally decided how I'm going to reinforce it up, but maybe I'm just going to use concrete blocks or something to stabilise the walls, to wall it in, and we'll build it up probably to about this high above the ground. The whole chamber will come right up, and then so never have any water going into there from the surface, and it'll only be seepage coming up.
And what material will you use to build that up with?
It'll probably be, I might make concrete blocks. I'm looking at making concrete blocks, and then just that'll allow water to keep coming into the well from the sides, and that should be stable enough.
And will the earth bags stay here when...
The earth bags will not be here forever. So we've done a very rough job with the earth bags. I haven't compacted them properly, I haven't got my sand to clay ratio properly, but I'm not expecting them to be here for more than 2 years.
So they're just a temporary measure at this stage?
Temporary measure just to stop it. The sand and the gravel, the sand come from the creek, not very sandy sand, and the clay was actually from under the house. I'm digging out under the house, and the bags are from chook food, which I'm trying to stop buying bags of chook food, trying to get in more bulk. There's a bentonite bag there, which is not actually chook food. So they're a reusable resource, and it'll be nice. One day this will be really nice when the food forest is up. We actually have a well here. I'll put a small solar pump here that'll pump the water up to the pond. I don't have enough water supply at the back of the property I need that for the garden, and so I needed another water supply. At the moment I'm using from across the road creek, which is not ideal, and I'm using a petrol pump once a week to pump that water up. So if I can go to a solar pump, that will take less time, and it'll make use of this well, which is, I think it's worth spending a bit more energy on it. Energy was spent 50 years ago and not much since, so I think it's time it had a little bit more energy expended on it. I'm quite looking forward to this project. This is the pond that we implemented it onto the design last year. So it's just over 12 months old. It's still a long way from being how I want it. We don't have any fish in there yet. We're ready to put fish in there. I think it's ready for fish. It's got a fair bit of life in there. We have some birds coming along. And I'm trying to get the pinto peanut totally established all around the whole pond. And I don't want any grass in here, just a quirky little thing that I'm trying to do. So I don't want to have to mow in here. I want it to be low management in the unnecessary. I don't mind managing food. We're going to grow food plants in there as much as we can. And down below is where we were just a moment ago with the well. And so this is where I need to get the water to. So we'll just have a small pump up 100, 150 gallons a day just to keep this at its constant level. During the wet season, it's not a concern. We had some rain the other day and it brought it back up to level again. So this week I don't need to put any water into it.